Why do people quit? What causes them to give up on themselves? Because that's what quitting is, right? Or is it? At first, we might think when someone's preparing to quit, they're struggling or they're bored. It isn't fun anymore. Their will is tested and they don't want to be seen in that state. And they don't desire to get to a different place enough to make it past the obstacle in their way, the trauma, the belief, because they don't see it. When you see something, you know it's there, right? At least you can trust that it's there. But when you don't see it with your eyes, you have to see it with your mind to trust that it's there, that it's possible within your reach. If you don't see it as possible, then you will refuse to sit in the potential of it and daydream and fantasize and allow it to come by accepting it's already there, just waiting for you to take hold of it, to get off the couch and go after what you want in a big, scary way until it's yours. And those who quit stopped believing, stopped trusting that this is worth it, that this will amount to something. When you don't have belief or trust or a visual, signs confirming you're going the right way, then you don't have drive. And without drive, you stall in the face of fear, in the face of bullies, bad report cards, mean bosses, and unhappy clients, wondering what to do now. Fear is just the lack of evidence that you can do this, that you have what it takes, that you will win. And if you lack material evidence, you need to create mental evidence until it becomes, in all forms, real. We're already doing this on a daily basis with our thoughts becoming things. So the sensory perception of that pit in your stomach, the sweats, the faster heartbeat, as perpetuated by our reptilian brain, means that you should run far away from this, keeping you stuck in survival mode. And that eventually turned into stay there, protect yourself from being seen by others, and possibly being called dumb or ugly. Better to just stay hidden, keep quiet, and stare at others through a screen, or hide behind a byline, or pretend to be that character you play. Because now, with innovation and technology spreading ideas, it's no longer just about survival. It's about matters of the heart and the spirit, not just protection of brain and body. But that too, I think people who quit forgot why they started pursuing this goal in the first place. Hi, I'm Yvette, the Declutter, your less is more coach and business mentor. And in this video, we're uncovering the reasons why people quit. So that if you're that mom or that entrepreneur mom I'm talking to, then you will know if and when it's time for you to quit on that business idea. So I'm going to share some of the quits I've seen in my work so far and reveal what it's telling us. Quitting a job you don't like so you can stay home with your babies or homeschool your kids proves your priorities have shifted. It's no longer only about the money. Quitting on a business idea or a side hustle that's draining your energy and depleting your bank account proves your emotional and logical brain aren't in this anymore. You're no longer convinced that this is a good use of time or money because you're letting it drain your energy instead of fueling your fire. Quitting on a relationship proves you haven't found a way that benefits both parties to get through this next chapter together. Quitting on finishing projects around the house that you keep starting and not finishing, like renovation projects or just household maintenance, proves the effort it takes to get to the finish line doesn't match the space you've given it in your life. It's not that important right now. So you might have to decide why scrolling social media or binging Netflix is a better use of your time. Quitting on organizing and ultimately decluttering the stuff piling up in your office, from businesses that failed to launch and all their inventory to the collection of notebooks from every conference you've ever attended that you haven't cracked open since, proves that it represents information you're too overwhelmed to apply or execute on. What we quit is a sign of what we believe isn't right for us. So how do you know when to stay and when to leave? How do you know what to keep and what to let go? How do you know that you won't miss it when it's gone? You will miss it. If you don't miss it, then it means you weren't following your heart to get what you got. We always want to follow our hearts. The possessions we've acquired, the places we've been, the people we've met are hopefully all things that we sought out to fulfill the desires of our heart. And if we do let go, whether we look back fondly or with regret is entirely up to us. Fondly would feel like gratitude, Regret would feel like resentment. But if you looked back on your life and chose to see each souvenir or circumstance as a way to connect more deeply and confidently to who you truly are in this world, then you would be so inspired to keep moving forward because it got you this far, Slumdog Millionaire style. So when you do let something go, what takes its place is a story of gratitude or resentment. Which would you rather be filled with? What you don't make room for in your life will always elude you because it doesn't fit the narrative in your head. And if you haven't made room for something new, different, or better, what are you holding on to? And to understand what's going on inside you when you feel like quitting instead of harnessing the mental toughness to stay the course, let's reframe what it means to give up. The quitter's compass for course correcting. Can we see quitting as adjusting, just riding our course to our North Star? Maybe that's what we need to do first. We orient ourselves. We notice we're uncomfortable and we begin to adjust, just like we adjust our posture from slouching the minute we become aware of it, usually after we feel some pain. Here we identify what's working and not working. See the difference? If posting on social media 3 times a week is burning you out, then reduce it to 1 time a week. Usually a slower frequency is better anyway when you're still trying to get your routine down or your resources in place. Here's what to notice when you're feeling like quitting. Are you more drained than energized doing this thing? Is learning this lesson, whatever it is in the situation, worth the cost? Time, money, energy, peace, sanity. For example, if you're spending $100 a month on sales page and cart software, but you aren't selling a single thing, this is misaligned hustle. The reframe. I'm figuring this might not be for me. Let me see how off course I am to my ultimate vision and prepare to adjust accordingly. Now you're ready to align your next steps according to what you believe is possible, your ultimate vision. Here's what to notice when you're feeling like quitting. Recognize the steps you've been taking to get here and determine if you were to continue this way, would it get you where you want to go? Measure your activities, your project deadlines, and or your business against your top 3 priorities, your energy, your availability, and season of motherhood. For example, if you're taking coaching clients in the evening or on weekends to accommodate your clients, is that also what you want for your family? Or would you rather be able to do dinner together and spend weekends adventuring and exploring with the kids? What will you do now? Use some of the revenue you made from that client to hire a babysitter during the day so you can take your calls then. The reframe. My next steps will be more aligned with ultimately where I want to go in life. They will directly support the life I'd rather be living now, a life that feels even better than this. Now we anchor. Ground yourself in gratitude and savor your current season. Here's what to notice when you're feeling like quitting. If we've given the endeavor a fair shot and chased its completion with sincere optimism and reckless abandon, and it still feels like something's just off, then something is off. Listen to that. Anchor in on the mindset, the vision, the belief, confidence, and the courage to take the steps that feel more aligned with where you want to go now. For example, you've been at this a while, but it still seems like your following isn't growing, or you're still not getting customers, and you're not gaining the traction you thought you would by now. How does that feel? Even growing slowly and building skills along the way is reward enough for the person who feels they're on the right path. The reframe. Is this just a difficult moment in time? A difficult thought to keep thinking? Is this keeping me stuck or freeing me to be me? Decide now if this is a dead end or just par for the course. Finally, we advance. Took a while, but now we get to move forward with more clarity. We know what we want and we know even more how to get there. More of our steps are being made clear. So we put one foot in front of the other and we go. Here's what to notice when you're feeling like quitting. Are you willing to pivot and Take more mindful movement toward your goals, the ones you had to remind yourself about, remind yourself that you're capable of, that it's still possible despite what it looks like right now. For example, for someone burned out on the process but not on the vision, maybe what you like least about doing what you're doing can be outsourced to enable you to do more of what you love, more of the stuff that makes your brand stand out because you are the brand and your customers need to see you, not some edited, pretty, filtered version of you. This is one way to maintain forward momentum. The reframe: celebrate all wins. Every win, big or small, leads to an even bigger win if you keep playing the game. And you don't have to play the game alone. Grab some teammates. Meanwhile, you're getting better and faster and noticing what's working and doubling down on that. That's progress. What to do when it's time to let go. How do you know when it's time to let go? If you've been following my content over the weeks, months, and years, then you know to check in with yourself. Ask questions. Am I keeping this or staying in this out of guilt, fear, or sunk costs? Does this drain my energy, steal my joy, or stifle my creativity in any way whatsoever? How so? Can I see this fitting into my life in 5 years if nothing about it changes at all? Do I actively seek out other people's opinions in order to convince myself to stay or keep going or not rock the boat? What do I feel in my body? Pain, regret, remorse, or excitement, anticipation, and encouragement? Only you know the answers. I think you'll know when it's time. And all said and done, maybe you're not quitting. You're just designing your life. If you've stayed with me till the end, thank you. I want to give you a bonus example using our quitter's compass for a stay-at-home mom or a work-at-home mom. You realize that your messy home is a distraction from your work. So you keep tidying and doing dishes and laundry instead of getting creative on your work in the time that you have to work. So you're constantly dealing with clutter inside and out. And it feels like you're doing all the cleaning yourself. What do you quit on, the business or the chores? Adjust. Notice current roles and responsibilities in the house and prepare to change who does what and which decluttering projects will have to wait until next year. Align with new demands on your time and energy and that of your family so you can manage expectations accordingly. Anchor in on your new daily chore list, factoring in your priorities and what can get done in the amount of time you have, and advance. Everyone in the household moves forward in agreement with this new routine, these new timelines, for a couple weeks consistently to see if it will work long term. It will always require you to be consistent first. And if you're having trouble staying consistent on this new plan, then you haven't dug deep enough on what's really distracting you from your work. Okay, you've got your action plan and your compass to continue to steer you towards your North Star. Next week's video is all about using your compass to make your pivot in life and in business after you've decided you're not a quitter. Please like and subscribe, and let's support each other in the comments. What are you up against? Where do you feel like quitting but you're not sure you should? Stay open for feedback. And until the next one.